Think of me as your senior web consultant for the next few minutes. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here because, well, we're looking at a fundamental shift in how your customers actually interact with your digital platforms. Now, for years, we've all relied on basic responsive design, right? Just making sure a website kind of squishes down to fit onto a smaller screen. But here is the hard truth for 2026. That outdated approach is literally costing you user retention. So today, we're going to build the business case for upgrading your standard responsive website into a true mobile-native progressive web app, or PWA.
Here is our strategy roadmap. We'll be covering 1. The mobile native business case. 2. Thumb-friendly bottom navigation. 3. Tactile haptic feedback integration. 4. PWA and offline functionality. And finally, number 5, WCAG 2.2 accessibility compliance. All right, let's jump right into section 1. The mobile native business case, moving beyond responsive design.
I really want you to ask yourself, why is it that despite having a supposedly mobile-friendly responsive site, mobile bounce rates remain so stubbornly high across the board? Well, think about the physical friction your users are experiencing every single day. We're forcing them to do thumb gymnastics, reaching for tiny little hamburger menus tucked away at the very top corner of these massive 6.7-inch screens. And worse, we're leaving them completely stranded with error pages the literal second their train goes into a tunnel and their connection drops. Responsive design simply makes content fit a screen. It doesn't actually consider how human beings use their phones in the real world. We are experiencing a major paradigm shift. The old, outdated responsive UX basically forces a desktop mindset onto a phone. It's just stacked columns and top-heavy menus. Contrast that with a true mobile native UX, which prioritizes physical ergonomics. It's entirely thumb-driven, it leverages PWA capabilities for lightning-fast offline loading, and it actually interacts with the device hardware itself. We're shifting away from a passive reading experience to a highly premium, app-like environment. Which brings us nicely to section 2, thumb-friendly bottom navigation, redesigning for human ergonomics.
So the absolute most crucial point here is this number, 75%. According to ergonomic studies, roughly 75% of smartphone interactions are entirely thumb-driven. Think about that. If your primary navigation is locked away in a hamburger menu at the top right corner, you are actively frustrating 3/4 of your users' interactions. This single massive metric anchors the business need to abandon the top menu once and for all and adopt a thumb-friendly bottom navigation bar. You've got to put the most important actions right where the thumb naturally rests. Now, for the technical stakeholders tuning in, implementing this in an environment like WordPress is actually incredibly straightforward for your dev team. They totally don't need heavy page builders that are just going to slow down your site. It's a super clean 3-step process right in your child theme. First, register a new mobile menu location in the functions.php file. Second, output that menu right before the closing body tag in your footer.php. And finally, just use standard CSS to fix it securely to the bottom of the screen. Boom! Suddenly your users can navigate your entire platform smoothly, one-handed. Moving right along to section 3. Tactile haptic feedback integration, creating a premium feel. Okay, this is where things get really fascinating. We can actually use device hardware to validate user actions. Enter the Haptic Feedback Web API. Think about when a user taps add to cart on a native app. They usually get a tiny physical click, right? A little vibration. It's deeply satisfying. Well, with this API, modern browsers can trigger that exact same tactile response right on your website. It completely elevates the standard mobile web from a flat, boring piece of glass to a highly responsive, premium environment. But hey, let me share a crucial consultant's best practice with you here. The key to haptics is absolute subtlety. You literally never want to overdo it. A 50 millisecond vibration? That feels like a satisfying physical click, absolutely perfect for hitting a checkout button or navigating that sleek new bottom bar. A 500 millisecond vibration? Yeah, that feels like an annoying phone call buzzing right in your hand. So use this API sparingly. Use it specifically to reward intentional actions without overwhelming or frustrating your user. All right, section 4, PWA and offline functionality, retaining users through instability. So the big priority here is making sure a user doesn't abandon your site just because they happen to hit a cellular dead zone.
To convert your site to a PWA, your team will follow some pretty basic steps. First, they'll create a web app manifest. This is just a simple JSON file that tells the browser how your app should look when installed on the user's home screen, including your specific brand colors and icons. Then, the real magic happens, registering a service worker. This is essentially a background JavaScript file that manages your caching and intelligently intercepts network requests. Now, when implementing this offline caching, you're faced with a classic build versus buy decision. On one hand, you can have your team write custom service workers. This developer-led approach is fantastic because it gives you absolute control over your cache strategy and keeps your code base incredibly lightweight. On the other hand, you could use pre-built PWA plugins. These offer really rapid implementation and automated fallbacks right from your dashboard, but they do come at the very real risk of potential code bloat. Honestly, both are totally valid options depending on your specific timeline and your dev resources. Whichever route you end up choosing, this strategic goal remains exactly the same. Cache your core assets. Think about it. When a user experiences network instability, a standard site just gives them the browser's default no internet dinosaur game. They leave and they probably aren't coming back. But a PWA utilizing these service worker caching strategies instantly serves a beautifully branded custom offline page instead. It politely tells them their connection dropped, but it keeps them safely inside your app-like ecosystem. Having faster loading and robust offline features directly absolutely salvages your user retention. And finally, Section 5, WCAG 2.2 Accessibility Compliance, Mitigating Enterprise Risk. Listen, accessibility is not just the ethical thing to do anymore, it's a critical compliance requirement and a vital way of mitigating enterprise risk during your mobile transition. Here's a quick summary checklist for WCAG 2.2 compliance in our new mobile native world. First, focus appearance. You need to ensure users navigating via keyboard or voice have highly visible indicators. Second, target size. All interactive elements absolutely must be at least 24 by 24 pixels. Third, redundant entry. Use autocomplete in your multi-step forms so users don't have to annoyingly retype their data. And lastly, ARIA labels. Because that sleek new bottom bar likely relies entirely on icons, you must include ARIA labels so screen readers know exactly what those buttons do. Now, I just mentioned that the WCAG 2.2 requirement for target size is a 24 by 24 pixel minimum. But as your consultant, actually, I highly advise aiming for this number instead. 44 by 44 pixels. This happens to be Apple's recommended minimum target size. By designing your haptic buttons and those bottom bar icons to meet this larger 44 pixel standard, you aren't just ticking a compliance box, you are literally guaranteeing ultimate touch usability and a truly flawless mobile experience for everyone. Well, we've covered a tremendous amount of ground in this explainer today, haven't we? From thumb-driven ergonomics and tactile haptics to offline service workers and strict accessibility standards, the era of merely squishing desktop columns onto a phone is officially over. So I'll leave you, the enterprise stakeholders, with this final strategic question. As you map out your digital investments for 2026, which mobile native feature is going to make the biggest impact on your specific customer base's retention? Is it the physical ease of bottom bar navigation or the rock-solid reliability of offline PWA capabilities? Take a minute, think about your users, take these insights back to your teams, and let's get out there and start building a faster, more resilient web. Thanks so much for joining me today.